Hi there, I'm verified champion algo trader Kevin Davey, and today I'm going to give you one great tip that will help you to start creating profitable trading strategies today. So let's get started. So today's tip, and it's really a secret, is to realize that most traders screw up when developing strategies. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at an example. Take a look at this performance summary from TradeStation. All they show you is the net profit, gross loss, and the profit factor. If you saw this, would you trade it? Okay. The answer isn't yes or no necessarily. It will be for you, but when I've asked a lot of people this, I get varying answers. Some say yes, some say no, some say I don't know. I mean, it has a good net profit, although you don't know how long the back test was. It does have a good profit factor, which a lot of people look at. So the question is, I don't know if I'd trade it. Most people do say yes to it, though. But the important thing to realize is there's really not enough data to tell you what to do here. Okay? And I originally got this strategy from somebody on a trading forum who said, my strategy falls apart in real time. And he gave this as an example. He said, hey, I ran my optimized back test. Here's the results I got, which are on the left. And then I ran it live for a little while. And here's what happened. What's going on? Well, there's a lot of clues that he's left behind that make you wonder if this strategy was really that good. The first one is, hey, it was optimized. And so you can pretty much guess that he over-optimized it. But I reached out to him and said, hey, let me take a look at your strategy performance report. Let's see what I see. So here's just a little bit of it. And there's a bunch of mistakes here. And I'm not going to talk about them all. But the big one I'm going to talk about is number 1 and number 3. And because they kind of go together. He has 149 trades in the back test, which isn't necessarily bad by itself. It could be okay depending on how many variables or inputs he's optimizing. But when I looked at the list of variables he optimized, he was actually optimizing around 150 variables. So he did all this optimization, only got 149 trades. Guess what? He's going to be overfit or curve fit, however you want to call it. It's basically going to create an artificially good back test that's just going to fall apart in real time. He's probably made even more mistakes beyond this, but I had to stop somewhere, and that was a big enough one that I questioned him on it. And the point is, he was doing things the wrong way. And to develop good strategies, and by good strategies, I don't mean back tests. Because yes, back tests can be useful, and you want a positive back test. Okay, that makes sense. But what really matters is that future performance. And to get that, you've got to have a process to develop strategies the right way. And part of the problem with that is most trading software just sets you up for failure. So here's some examples of that. One, most trading software just defaults to $0 slippage, $0 commission, which is totally unrealistic in the real world. But that's what it defaults to. And so if you go and you try to build a strategy with the default settings, it's going to give you misleading results. It's going to have you trade too much because there's no trading costs. And it's just not going to be a good way to go. The second thing a lot of software does, it assumes if you have limit orders in your code As soon as that limit order price is touched, you will get a fill. The reality is that almost never happens. Touch fills are rare. Maybe 10, maybe 20% depending on the market, but certainly not the 100% that the trading software defaults to. So that's another example that'll mess you up. And then the third one is if you disable, which is usually by default, look inside bar backtesting. It's also called bar magnifier, bar resolution. There's some different names for it, but I'm going to explain to you what that is because it's a really, really important concept if you're backtesting, especially if you have stops and targets. All right, so let's talk about this. Here's your signal bar. You've got your open, your high, your low, your close. You're going to have a signal to buy at the close of that bar. So you're buying at the market, okay? And then you're going to set a target, which is slightly above the high, and you're going to put a stop somewhere down below. It looks like the stop's roughly 2 times the target, just in this example, okay? So either, once you enter, either the target is hit or the stop is hit. So let's pretend the entry bar looks like that, where there's the open, which is the same as the previous close, and then there's a high, low, and close. Now, obviously, if you entered at the open and you put your stop and your target in the market, and it would be where one canceled the other out, the first one filled is the one that's, or the first one hit is the first one that's going to get filled. You're not real sure which one got hit first. Did your stop get hit and it was a losing trade, or did your target get hit? The strategy backtest engine that you're using doesn't necessarily know either if all it knows is the open, high, low, and close. So what you've got to do, you've got to look inside the bar. And that's what look inside bar backtesting is. Without it, the backtest engine makes a certain assumption about how the price moved. And I won't go into details on how it just does that, but in this particular case, it would say you had a winning trade. Okay? But let's say the price did this, where it went up a little bit and then went down. It would have hit your stop right here. And of course, now you're out, so no further orders are placed or taken that bar. Goes down to the low, then goes back up, and it would have hit your target, but long after that stop had been hit. So that's the reality you'd have to deal with, is that this was a stopped out trade. Now, remember, I mentioned that the backtest engine thought it was a winning trade without look inside bar backtesting. So you actually backtest it, you thought you had a winner, but actually turned out to be a loser. So that nails you twice. That's not good. Here's an example where it was a winning trade, where it went up and hit the target first. The point is, without look inside bar backtesting, you don't know what happened first. So those are 3 things you have to be aware of with your software and your backtest engine: the limit order issue, this look inside bar backtesting, and including slippage and commission. If you do all 3, you're going to create better, more reliable, and more accurate strategies. Without it, you're going to run into trouble. All right, I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Thanks for watching.